I was scheduled to graduate. I think I had even purchased my cap and gown, and in a weak moment a group of friends had me out and talked me into running for student body president. So you can imagine the phone call to my parents to tell them I wasn't going to graduate. I had to stick around another year, but it was a year well worth it, and one of the most important and memorable years of my life, and really paved the way for a lot of the things that I do today.
I think if you would have taken all of us who were student leaders at ASU from, let's say, the mid to late 80s into the early 90s and said, who is really just tremendous among you, Karrin would be on that list. She'd be at the top of that list.
One of the most important things that I learned was my freshman year at Arizona State University, where I took a leadership class that was taught by Neil Giuliano, who the previous year was student body president. And the most important takeaway from that class was people support what they help create. And I learned, you let other people help you find a solution, and they're going to support whatever it is. Land use was an area of law that allowed me to work with clients to create value in their property. There's a long list of projects that I'm very, very proud of. Verado in the city of Buckeye, that was the former Caterpillar Proving Grounds, and today when you go out to Verado, you see it as a thriving community. Also, Eastmark out in the city of Mesa. Eastmark is now the #1 selling master plan community in Arizona. It has been for the last 5 years. To have been part of that at the outset, I'm very proud of that.
We first started working together on behalf of a mutual client, DNB, and we were working on planned community developments. And Karrin is brilliant, we know that. She is not only a visionary, but she's also a tactician and has tremendous abilities to craft strategy and to execute a big vision.
Karrin's just someone who says, when there's work to do, how can I help? And when there's opportunities for her to take the lead, which there have been many, she's always answered the call. The reason I selected Karrin for the Board of Regents is I wanted to bring people that were subject matter experts, people that were hard-headed business folks, people that wouldn't play political games. She fell under each one of those categories, as well as someone who's a very proud alumni of Arizona State University.
One of the areas I'm most passionate about is civil discourse and civics in general. A lot of the problems that we see when it comes to civil discourse are happening around the country on university campuses. And with Arizona State University as the largest university in the country, I think it's incumbent on us to lead the way and show others what it means to have free speech and respect for the First Amendment and respect for the thoughts and opinions of others. And so early on in my tenure as a regent, I suggested to the staff that we have a competition amongst our 3 universities. Much like the Territorial Cup is to football, the Regents Cup will be to free speech and civil discourse on our campuses.
I first met Karrin at ASU, and that's because we were both sorority sisters. She's a bit younger than I am, but we were not only sorority sisters, but we were also very interested in student government. But we really didn't spend a lot of time together until after we graduated and into our professional lives. And it was then that we really got to know each other and what we were made of as sisters, as Sun Devils, and as really good friends.
Public service is in my blood. I inherited it from my parents, who just instilled in us the need to give back to our communities.
So the Konosic family is a great legacy, and Karrin has really continued that brand of leadership in Arizona, which I like to say is really the epitome of servant leadership. Whether it be Carl, her dad, who was president of the state senate, or Andy, her brother, they really just don't have an ego that needs to be fed. And I respect that greatly. I respect their type of leadership, which is really about convening people and really being steadfast in their support for the potential for Arizona and the freedoms that we all enjoy.
It's just, a belief that in a self-governing democracy, it's an incredible blessing, and it's a responsibility we all have to give back.